Hare Krishna, my name is Bushara Das. I'm a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. I'm speaking a little how I became a devotee. I was living in Boston in 1972, and I had a couple of books about Krishna, but I didn't know exactly where a temple was. So I was on a train in Boston, and the train was going down the tunnel, and across from me there was a vagrant on the train, a homeless person. And the homeless person, they had a magazine, and they took the magazine and threw it, and the magazine flew over to where I was sitting. And so I picked up the magazine, and it was very amazing. I read the whole magazine, and at the end the magazine had the address to the temple, and that's how I became a devotee. The magazine is Back to Godhead with Krishna Lift and Govardhan Hill. That was in 1972. So, we cannot look down on anyone, because you never know where the mercy is going to come from. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Tani Radha Devidasi. I'm from New Jersey. So the way we started the Krishna Consciousness journey is we went to Texas to see the state, and during the stay we went to Kalachandraji's restaurant just to have some nice food as such, because we didn't know it was prasadam there. So when I walked into the temple, in the aisle there was this Bhagavad Gita, and in my whole life I wanted to read the Bhagavad Gita, and here it said Bhagavad Gita as it is. It was like I was very happy to see the title itself, and I told my husband we should take this book. So along with Bhagavad Gita as it is, we also took the Heritage book. So with these two books in hand, I walked into the temple, and I saw these American devotees very nicely ringing the bell, performing arti. It just touched my heart. It really impressed me that here are these Americans nicely dressed in sari, performing arti to the beautiful forms of Shri Radha Kalachandji. And I was just dressed in jeans, and I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. And then we walked in, me and my husband, after the midday darshan, we sat with all the devotees. I had a lot of questions as to what is death, what happens at death, where did we come from, and so many other questions. So these devotees very kindly, very sweetly, gently, they were explaining all the answers to these questions, and none of their answers contradicted the previous one. It was just forming like a beautiful jigsaw puzzle, all the pieces coming together. And they said, if you're so interested, why don't you go and do Sachinand Maharaj's retreat the next coming weekend at New Vrindavan. So we went there, and just the darshan of Sachinand Maharaj, my husband was like we just knew that he was not like one of us. He is somebody different. We did not know that he's a Guru Maharaj and what is the meaning of a Guru Maharaj and things like that. But just by his presence, we could feel he was very special. And during the retreat, one of our godbrothers, our present godbrother, he made us chant a round of japa. And the next day he said, why don't you chant 3 rounds? And it was like, okay, let's do it. And in the end, Maharaj said, why don't you turn to the next person sitting next to you, and then take a vow that you would like to do something from today, something spiritual. So I said, okay, from today I will chant 3 rounds. So that's how I started my journey. And within that 1 month, I think, yes, my godbrother, he called me and my husband to their house for the Diwali function at ISKCON of DC. So we happened to go there, and after the Mangalarti at their place, my godbrother said, so you finished your 3 rounds, why don't you do 16? So I was like, okay, let's do 16. And then at the end of it, I remember telling him, I just felt like I chanted only 3. And he was like, yeah, that's what it is. And so that's how it all started. In the evening, we had this japa session with other new devotees. It was just, I would just say it's like the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, my Guru Maharaj's mercy coming through my godbrother. It just changed our life. So that's how it was. So thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I got introduced to spirituality way back during my IM days through a course, Ethics and Human Values and Business Management. And thereafter I started following the path of non-dualism, or what we call Mayavad in today's days. And I was a big follower of Vivekananda and Shankaracharya. But even after following for many years, I had so many questions which I felt were not satisfactorily answered. Then one day, luckily, I met a devotee who invited me to attend a Bhakti Vraksh in a temple. I went there. I was a little skeptical in the beginning, but I nonetheless went there, and I saw the kirtan. which really attracted me a lot. I really got attracted to the Kirtan right away. I had a few questions on the philosophy, in fact, a lot of them, but I kept asking them, and gradually they started becoming clear and clear, and I started getting hooked to the Kirtan, to the bhajans, and to the philosophy. I read more and more books, and what I found so great about Krishna conscious is it's so practical. It lays a clear path in front of you how to progress in it, and the best thing is you can see the progress happening into you on a year by year or day by day basis, and I'm really glad that, and I feel very privileged and very blessed that I got introduced to this path, and I have been chanting more than 16 rounds for around 2 years now, and very soon I want to go for the initiation. So that's my spiritual life in a brief. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name's Julian. I've been coming to the temple for some years. Since the facility was bought, I've been coming here regularly. I went to college with Dinabandhu Prabhu, as many of you know. So at the end of each year in college, there was what's called the Big Parade. Everyone was having fun, and it was a joyous time. And as part of that parade, there was Rath Yatra. I didn't understand that at the time, but I was attracted by the music, which was beautiful and ecstatic. That was my first time really hearing the word Hare Krishna. And of course, afterward, the kirtan kept going and going, getting louder and louder as the college students all joined in. And they're also eating rice and dal, which prasad, which is being served in a tent in the main square. So I took the prasad, and it was a very joyous experience. This happened at the end of each year, and it was something that I looked forward to. I enjoyed the big parade and the Rath Yatra, but I didn't understand the philosophy or where the Hare Krishna movement was coming from. But some years later, I got sick, I got very ill, and I dug up a paperback translation of Bhagavad Gita with a foreword by Aldous Huxley. It was something from my father's college days, and I read it, and I sort of wanted to know more, so I asked Dinabandhu, can you help me, where can I get more information on Bhagavad Gita? So he gave me the As It Is translation, and I read that, and of course, because of that, I started chanting Hare Krishna naturally. Every other sentence in As It Is encourages everyone to chant Hare Krishna. So at that time, Dinabandhu started to just encourage me. He gave me chanting beads, and he brought me to the temple. And basically, at the same time that this wonderful new temple was being established, I started coming for the Sunday feasts on a regular basis, and I'm still here. And I'm enjoying myself.
रास रसिक कृपमय यमुना तटचर गोपी वसनहार रास रसिक कृपमय श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन नट श्री राधा वल्लभ वृंदावन नट भक्ति विनोद श्री राधा वल्लभ मननाथ भक्ति विनोद समति नंदन ब्रज वर नागर गोकुल धन्यन समति नंदन